Double MOAB? Did I just hear you say double MOAB? Now what the bloody hell is that? Well, I can tell you. A double MOAB is where you get two mother of all bombs in the same game. And of course, you know, Buffalo can't get a 2 MOAB game. He can't even get a 1 MOAB game. That's correct, because I'm uploading Brandon's gameplay. Ooh, what a game this is. This was an absolute monster, and this was a double MOAB, which VI Brandon, XI Brandon, he's got many different accounts. This is a gameplay which he recently got, which I offered to upload for him. Simply because he is making his channel right now. The channel will be in the description. It's been made. He's literally just waiting on the delivery of his HD PVR before he can actually start bringing you some real special gameplay. And what was so, you know, this is the irony with this gameplay, because it was monstrous, but they still lost the game. And you know, that might put people off watching this video, and you know, apologies if it does, but honestly, you want to watch this, because if you actually watch the gameplay and watch Brandon's positioning, you will take a lot from this. And that is a promise. I guarantee you, if you adopt some of the strategies that Brandon has used in this gameplay and that the team has used, if you're playing in a bigger domination team, you will do better. And you know, that is almost, you know, there's some players that, you know, aren't gifted enough to be able to do that, but for the most of you, this will definitely help. And the fact is, he pretty much stayed around the same section of the map for the entire duration of the game. You'll see that I have sped up quite a lot of it, because you know, it was like an 11-minute gameplay. It was, I think it ended up like 198 to 200, which was unfortunate and ruined it a little bit. But I just think the actual quality of Brandon actually in this gameplay was too much just to be ignored. So my advice will be to sub to this guy, because he's going to be bringing you some really good commentaries. He's a really confident guy, and I think he'll come across very, very well. And on that note, it actually leads me to talk about where I am at the moment. And for you guys who don't know, yesterday I reached 100 subscribers, and you know, that was a really pleasing moment. And this morning I turn on and it's gone back down to 99. So I'm not too sure. Someone's unsubbed. Someone obviously doesn't like what they're seeing anymore. And that's led me to think about, you know, what is happening to my videos, because I seem to be uploading them. And, you know, obviously the big thanks go out to the people who are watching them regularly and daily. But for some reason my videos don't really do as well as they used to do now. And I'm not too sure what that is. Obviously I've seen that, you know, my little clips where I do my Peter Griffin and Stewie Griffin. You know, obviously they're the good videos. They're the ones that everyone seems to be watching, mainly because it's not just Call of Duty. People who are interested in, you know, watching funny clips, it appeals to them as well. So I'm not too sure, you know, what's going on in my commentaries. I don't know if it's because I got a boring voice. I've had a lot of people actually saying to me about how my voice is the opposite of that, and how people don't really get annoyed at my voice. But obviously, you know, these are just single people's opinions. And you know, is there anything in particular you want me to see? To hear in the commentaries? Because you know, I do know that hearing my voice, and I'm the sort of person who repeats myself and goes on about a lot of crap a lot of the time. So if there is anything you want me to talk about, or any sort of way you want me to structure my commentaries from now on, please let me know. And when I say that, I don't mean just look at it and think, oh yeah, you could do this, but then don't tell me. Please let me know, because you know, I want this channel to grow. I want it to grow for you guys, and obviously I want it to grow for my own personal enjoyment as well. So yeah, please give me some feedback on that. But anyway, we're now about halfway through the video, so I'm going to speak to you about some of the tactics that Brandon employed in this gameplay. And you can pretty much see him here head glitching over this area by the A domination flag for the entire game, simply because for the most part we had Brandon and his team had the A and B combination locked down for most of it, which meant that the enemy was stuck to spawn at C. And another good thing was, I think they were playing in a full party, which meant that the spawns weren't pushed that often. The whole team knew that, you know, if they stay just outside of the C spawn, there isn't anywhere else on the map that the enemy could spawn. And you know, that is something I want to be highlighting a lot in some of the upcoming domination videos that I'm doing. And that is about, you know, just keeping hold of a spawn spot in domination. Everyone seems to want to rush into the spawn and, you know, hope for that big piece. And you see, that's the first MOAB. Like, you know, you're not going to get a 10 piece if you just run in there. A, because 10 pieces aren't possible, and B, because it's stupid. You're never ever going to be able to get every single member of the team, because they're not always in the same spot. So if you wait for the team to come to you, you know, that is when you're going to start doing well. And that's what Brandon did really particularly well in this gameplay. He understood that, there's only one way they can really get out of C, and that is through the middle building, up the stairs, through the corridor, towards A and to the right-hand side of B. And, that sort of knowledge is useful. It's really useful. You see that they lose the B flag, but, that was okay. And, yeah, I know it was a loss, but I'm just talking about, the ways to do well on your own, and it was just unlucky that the enemy were the sort of team that were going to push the spawns as hard as they possibly could, and eventually if one guy takes a death, it sort of ruins the whole atmosphere around, because there's no longer every spawn point covered, and that is where communication comes into it. And that leads me to talk about the headset. And it's getting to the point now where unless I'm speaking to people, or people can speak to me and just call out guys to me on the headset, I'm getting really frustrated. Simply because if you run around a corner and there's a guy just sat there against the wall and he comes and knifes you, and you know that I'm following you behind you, that's when you need to tell me, that's when you need to let me know there's a guy at the wall. There's a guy at the wall! Don't run into the guy at the wall! That's the sort of thing I need to know, and that's where communication really comes in handy. And I've got a couple of headsets. I'm currently speaking on this microphone with my PX21, which is battered and bruised. It's about 2 years old, well, a year and a half old now. And, I think these are probably the best headsets out there. I know Wings of Redemption always says the PX21 Turtle Beach is the best one to get, and I'd agree with it. And another headset I've got is the Turtle Beach PX3. And this is a bit more expensive than the PX21, and I've got to be honest, I still don't like it more than the PX21. It's really difficult to connect to the PS3. The instructions are quite straightforward, but it actually doesn't really work when you do it. It takes me about 10-15 minutes to actually just get it to connect, to gain volume and stuff. And I'm not sure it's because of my setup, whether or not it's a bit more difficult. But, I'm not too sure. If anyone knows a quick trick, or, any tips as to how to really set the PX3 up properly, then please let me know, because it's really frustrating. And there's a second MOAB. Apologies if the commentary is out of sync again, but I'm just highlighting the fact that he just got his second MOAB in the same game. I mean, what more? How much more beastie can you want? But anyway, guys, this gameplay is coming to a swift end. Once again, I hope you've enjoyed Brandon's gameplay today, and there's going to be plenty more of this to come. I think he's got a couple of double MOABs now. Obviously, I can't post them all on my channel, but yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to rate it, and if you haven't already, subscribe, because there's plenty more beasting to come from Brandon and Buffalo. But anyway, guys, cheers for watching. Peace!